Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Scouser's pre-match show. The opinion, the lineup is, and nobody's happier than freaking John over here because Gravenberch is not only Gravenberch is starting, he is the poster child.
He is the
for the starting lineup over here. I don't know because it's a rare opportunity to get his picture out there as well. But John is with us, Serzi is with us. We might have a couple others join us along the way. John, I know you're happy, so let's start with you. What do you make of the lineup?
Make of the lineup? Well, we're back on the gravy train, people. We're back on the gravy train. Let's go. But in all seriousness, yes, I'm very happy, but honestly surprised. Like, for those who caught up with the morning show yesterday, it was actually Kazi who suggested starting Gravenberch in a fixture like this. And me, the biggest Gravenberch stan, here in American Scouser, was actually a bit wary about putting him in. So honestly surprised that Klopp with him. Pleasantly surprised. Listen, we're going up against a team at the bottom half of the table. As Kazi said yesterday, if there is a game to put him in, this is probably it. Aside from that, midfield, we know Endo picked up a knock, so we'd assume McAllister is going to be playing there on the 6. Listen, all things considered, it's pretty much a team that should, be strong enough to get the job done. Because let's be real, if we aren't beating Sheffield United at home, we have no right winning this league. So
yeah, I know, but it scares me whenever someone says that. We're on Instagram Live today as well, and Jay says thought that was Szoboszlai in the top right. Yeah, not even close.
Me?
Not even close. Yeah,
I am
you're in top right,
that
buddy.
is like-
You're in top right.
Really? My God, that just made my day, Jay. My God.
Yeah, honestly, I'll refer some eyeglass companies once the broadcast
to refresh your internet.
That is like top 10 most beautiful human beings in the world, Dominic Szoboszlai. Like, sorry, I'm getting a big ego here.
That makes you like a close 11th or something, or what? But no, not like I say, not according to the wife. The chin is a major turnoff. Serzi, another good-looking contributor over here. Are you shocked that Elliot doesn't get a chance on his birthday over here, or did he have too much cake or something?
I think he'll come on. Again, I've said it before. I think Klopp takes advantage of him like he did with Bobby, and he knows Elliot will just put up with it. And he'll come on, and and he's proven his worth. I mean, he played a lot of games in a row. Every time we thought, oh yeah, Elliot's going to be arrested, he ends up playing.
Yeah.
I think, as Kazi and John had said yesterday, that if there's a game that you can put Gravenberch on, let's do this. I mean, he's not a bad player. I mean, when he first came in and he was like running at defenses and he was playing with a smile on his face, and then I wasn't sure if it was an injury or a knock that he took, and then he just hasn't been the same. But he's got the potential. He has it there. He just needs to stop overthinking and just enjoy the game again. I think now because
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. Now obviously the pressure's on. Like when Gravenberch came, we had no pressure. We didn't have these expectations of being in the top 3. We were just trying to get into the top 4, top 5. But now it's like, okay, shit, this is real.
Yeah.
So but hopefully he comes through. Want to support all our players. Even Gakpo, he's fallen off. But if this game for Gravenberch to come on, it's this one, and I'm surprised Gakpo didn't start either. I think he might come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we see him. Maybe he's one of those guys that's better off, in the starting 11 as opposed to coming off the bench too. We talked about that in the past, how some guys kind of can do that better than others in terms of coming in cold into a game that's going at full pace. Ryan says, feel good about today. I see Costas can't get a start. We were talking about this right before we went on air. I really find it odd that we have 2 left backs on the bench. Robertson is over there as well. And I almost think, if we somehow struggle, so you guys are scaring me with this comfortable over-the-top comfort levels over here. This is the shit that makes me nervous.
It takes 2 people. It takes 2 people to balance your negativity, Tim. So it's just me.
My nerves are getting worse. And tis the season. As we get towards the end of the season, my nerves will only get worse and worse. I mean, Jay says save Elliot for Sunday. We should be beating Sheffield B team. Yeah, see, stop saying saying this stuff, man. You guys are every time somebody's overconfident, it makes me even more worried.
Exactly.
The other way is not going to be easy, and I do agree to that. So let me ask you guys this then, Serzi. There is not a lot of rotation, right? I mean, Gravenberch is in because Endo has a knock, and I really think we're saving Endo for Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that because United has a tough game today as well? And they're actually playing, I mean, it's 45 minutes later, but they're playing actually after us today, going away to London, to Chelsea, which should be a tough game for them. Do you think if they were playing yesterday, for example, if they were on the slate for yesterday, would we see more rotation today? It's almost like we're on the same schedule over here, so we did.
I don't know. I think with Manchester United, you can't predict you don't know which Manchester United is ever going to turn up. So on Sunday, they could either play like peak Brazil 2002, or they can play like Roy Hodgson Liverpool and just suck balls. So it's I don't think Klopp thinks like that. I think what we've seen over time, I think he literally takes each game as it comes. I don't think he forward plans. And you've seen that when we've lost players like Jota for injury, and we think, why is Jota playing? Like, we don't need him, to play, and then he ends up getting injured. So I really think he takes each game as it comes, and we just got to see Shefflied United. I'm like you. I don't think it'll be a comfortable win. I'm really, really nervous about today.
I think an early goal makes it a really comfortable win, and then you're able to get. I mean, is that what you think? I mean, I know Klopp says that, but I always feel like there is some. Either for injuries or for other reasons, there's always, we're playing chess at the same time and thinking of the next move. I mean, I would hope in some ways, right? But we didn't rest anybody, really. Unlike maybe he's more nervous like me than comfortable like you, John, that we are mainly our starting 11 over here. Is that to kind of like almost secure the game and sub later? Or like, Sir Z is saying, this is what we have best available and we're going to go with it along the way?
It's a little bit of both. And I think it's also a rhythm kind of deal, because with club system, like the margins that you have to be pinpoint with needs rhythm. You need to have reps over and over and over and again. So to close out this season, he wants arguably these group of guys, with the exception of my boy Gravenberch, as his best lineup, ready and sharp for the run-in. So it does make sense where if there is rotation, it's probably going to be one or two guys, because I have a feeling if Endo didn't have a knock, he'd be starting this game. I don't know, just me. I feel like he would, because listen, he's got a bit of mileage on his legs, but he's been on such a great run of form that Klopp would just want that to continue game after game and not like put a stop to that momentum. So for me, it's that what you and Sir Z said, but also kind of a rhythm thing, keeping this group of guys together, for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is probably a combination, but I do think, like you're putting a really strong lineup, and we assume Mac back to the 6 for this game, Sir Z, but that still makes a very creative and attack-minded midfield when you look at him paired with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai.
Yeah, I think that's why Gravenberch is playing, because Mac is going to drop to 6. So we've still got 2 attacking midfielders. Obviously, Salah's back, and hopefully he's got the cobwebs off from the last game, and it's the kind of game that Nunez should excel in. Because they're going to play low block. I think we're going to come up against a low block. I don't think. To go toe to toe with us, then Shefflied United end up getting trounced. So we just got to be smart and patient and just not get frustrated in this game. It's also the last league game in the evening that we have with my clubs here. So hopefully the crowd's on board as well. Yeah. Really?
How about this? Gakpo not starting. We kind of thought he would get his opportunity if. Yeah. I mean, kind of like similar to what we're saying about Gravenberch, right? If not now, when kind of a deal. Are you shocked, John, that we're not seeing Gakpo in the starting 11? Or is he a victim of his versatility again, where he's on the bench, so if things don't go as planned, he can come in and we can change formation?
Yeah, there is that, but the whole victim of versatility thing kind of gets the narrative of that kind of got hit the last few weeks, considering how poor he's played. Like we're defending Gakpo here, but there's a lot of in his game that he's played in the last few weeks that are a little inexcusable. Like you mentioned him with the Man United game where he came in, didn't look asked. He came in against the Brighton game, got that yellow card, but aside from that, didn't really look asked as well. So maybe it's just Klopp playing the players in form. Now, whether Gakpo, he still has that skill set where he kind of gives you the opportunity to diagnose a problem and bring him in and then put him in that position to help out. But, at this point, it would be great for him to start. But as we keep talking about in the show, it seems like a situation where Klopp just doesn't want to take any chances and get the points on the board, put his best lineup in.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, 5-4-1 is what we're facing, says Ryan, pretty much. And I mean, let's take a look at them right there. I mean, obviously, we kind of know like their struggles and stuff like that. But I mean, it even worries me more, Cersei, that there is no one specific to really worry about, it feels like.
I don't worry about Holgate because he's a dirty bastard. I hate that guy.
Yeah.
It's seriously.
Yeah, I was like, is that the Holgate? Like the Mason Holgate? Because I swear.
Oh, God. I hate I can't even, don't give me started. But, I don't know. McAtee, me, I don't know. It's just, I think the defense is going to be what we need to break down. They're just really just going to just defend their lives. Defend for their lives, and we just have to be patient.
Yeah, I guess this can go with any game, John. I mean, we say this all the time, but how soon we can get the first goal is going to be the key in a game like this. I mean, in an ideal scenario, you get the first goal,
right,
and then you kind of like in a team against Sheffield. You would think once the first one goes in, I can see their like guard falling down and maybe becoming a lot easier. What do you think about Ryan saying? He prefers Gakpo over Nunez when we play a team that is going to pretty much, park the bus, play like probably like a 5-4-1 or 5-5-0 or whatever.
Yeah, well, this idea of Gakpo is a Gakpo that was in form, and
that's last season's Gakpo.
Right, that's last season's Gakpo. And as much as we slate Nunez for making a bonehead decision here and there, on the flip side of being fair, he can come up with a moment of magic like that screamer against Bournemouth or that goal against Forest and all that, where he can do something spectacular to unlock the block. So I totally understand where Ryan is coming from, but it would totally make sense to start Nunez over Gakpo here because Nunez is the player on form. Gakpo hasn't looked interested, so totally get the thinking there.
The problem that Shefflied, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
The problem, like who do they mark? They got Salah. You can't leave him unattended. Diaz is on form. Nunez takes players out. Like we're gonna make that defense work. I think this game cries out for Jota, but more than Gakpo.
I really think this is a great game for Gravenberch, by the way. We might, good thing we don't have post-match because I can see the post-match I would just put John on the mic. And
that's why I'm just all gravy train right now because I know there's no post-match. I know I'm not in the morning show tomorrow, so I'm not going to get any slack.
Oh, we'll give you slack one way or the other. But yeah, the post-match basically will be the boys coming in tonight's podcast at 7 o'clock Central. The technically challenged trio will basically dissect the hell out of the game for you. But here's another thing, Cersei. Do you think Gakpo is not there because Gravenberch is there? It almost feels like Gakpo would be a fit if you had Endo and Mac there, but I find them very similar in terms of how they break down defenses, so you only choose one of them. Two Dutch dudes, I'll take one.
I don't think Klopp trusts Gakpo right now, and then to put him and Gravenberch, like he wasn't, he played okay in the cup final, and to have two players that you're unsure of against how we are now, like we have to win this game. It was too much of a risk. And if Gakpo doesn't come up, if we put him on and he's not playing well, it's just going to lower his confidence even more. I think you bring him on when we're winning. If we're winning like 2-3, 4-0, then bring Gakpo on. And if he sucks, he sucks. If he scores, it's a bonus.
I just feel like, was a good game for him because I just think he's that kind of guy that needs to see a couple of them go in. I mean, you're a basketball guy there, John. Like, it's almost like you need to see a couple of them go in, and then suddenly everything starts going in, and your confidence comes back. You're like, yep, this is more like it and stuff like that. And
but then on the flip side, Tim, you can't exactly put the bench player in and ask him to hunt for his shots when you're trying to win a title.
And I think that's the problem, right? I mean, that goes back to, I think, what Sir Z is saying in terms of like the trust and the situation and things like that. But Gravenberch is getting the opportunity. But I really think there's a lot. I mean, there's an ideal scenario to make over here where you do take the early lead. You do get the game under control. Kind of like have it a one-sided game like Arsenal did yesterday, and then kind of like cruise, be able to rotate and stuff like that, because I don't anticipate the same thing happening in the Chelsea United game. That rests you more for Sunday.
You guys think we get, like, let's say 2-0 up after 20 minutes? You think we're going to keep going and going and going? Because there is still that goal difference. And there's the old saying, goal difference is like an extra point, especially since how close this title race is.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
What do you guys think?
What do you think, Sergi? Wow. I mean, it's not normally our thing. It just happens to happen. I think it really depends a bit on more. I mean, I personally think it depends a lot more on Sheffield than us. If Sheffield says, the game is gone now, let's come out and play, it could get ugly. If Sheffield says, well, we're already going down, we don't want to get embarrassed, and then still park the bus, it's harder to rank up those.
Yeah, I don't think Klopp is that type of. When we lost that league with Rodgers in charge, I think Rodgers made them go for them, that goal difference. I don't think Klopp's like that. I think Klopp just wants to win out this game, and the rest will take care of itself. I mean, Arsenal got lucky; they were on a lucky run, and as much as the game on Sunday with City was such a shit game, but Arteta played that. He played for that goal difference, because if they went toe to toe with Man City, they could have lost that goal difference. They could have lost the game, but he shut Manchester City up. So they didn't score, we didn't score. It's fine. We'll take that. It's I think they're more worried about us and our goal difference. And I think everyone's watching this game to see. I think everyone's expecting like a 4-5 route. I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully it does, but
let's hope so. Let's keep the optimism, making me more comfortable for the next 12 minutes before the kickoff. Ryan says, if you're up by 3 at the half, make all the subs. While we say that, who are all these subs that you speak of? Because I always assume, I mean, then you can bring Gakpo in, right? You can bring Elliott in.
Jones.
I mean, I don't know if you risk, like, Jones, I'm assuming, will be playing like 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'm assuming he has like a minute cap on him, right? Who else? I mean, do you just bring the kids, or do you get some more minutes under Robertson and Costas and stuff like that going into Sunday?
For me, it's a Kwanzaa over Konate deal when we're comfortable, because listen, as much as we love Ibu, that injury history is really scary, especially at this time of the year. We need him, kind of like what we said with Thiago a few years ago. We need to pack him in bubble wrap and then just secure him in a box somewhere, because we need him. We need a defender in his caliber.
He's fasting too.
Right, he's fast. Yeah, he's fasting. Yeah. And with Trent coming back, we need Konate coming back in, because he's going to be doing the job of 2 players, essentially.
Speaking of fasting, I'm sure like Mo is as well. Ryan says Salah has to come up, but hey, I mean, if you're talking about, we're up 3-0 and it's a free-for-all, we would need the SWAT team and smoke bombs and stuff like that to get Mo out of there, right?
Yeah. No, he won't want to come off.
Do you take Nunez out and put Gakpo in, or do you really take? I mean, I don't see us taking Mo out and putting Gakpo in, for example.
I'll take the Diaz off. I will say, depending how the game's going, but maybe Diaz. Okay. And just keep him fresh for Sunday against Manchester United. Who knows? I mean, if we're going that way, maybe just take Gravenberch and bring Gakpo on and have 4 strikers.
I agree with Sir Z's shout there with getting Gakpo in his preferred position as a left winger, because we talked about it yesterday. He needs some run at some point, and he says himself he's a left winger, so we might as well put him there, get some run in. For Salah, I think we have to leave him, because as good as he's been since he's come back, I feel like there's still a bit of him still getting into the flow of things. So maybe just leave him in, trust him to
Yeah.
not injure himself, right? And then, we go from there.
See, that's the thing. Like, I trust Mo
Right.
to not put himself in situation. I mean, obviously, there's always like dumb luck and something can happen, but I trust Mo to be able to control his tiredness levels or fatigue or whatever you want to call it, and like run accordingly and pick his spots and stuff, and be like the way he plays. Whereas Nunez, I can see him like just being like reckless, if you will, and like going into something and getting injured. Like, I would take him out and put him in bubble wrap, or Diaz, especially Diaz, for example, because of the way he plays. I would rather have him put in bubble wrap and take outside and tell Mo to kind of, hey, make sure you take care of yourself because we need you on Sunday.
Yeah, great.
It's like yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No, it's like the veteran experience. You can rely on Mo. He's won it all, done it all. With Nunez, second year with us, he's improved, but then he's still got that little bit of craziness in him. So I totally get what you're coming from. But yeah, like I said, if there's one player I'd be willing to get out, bring out when things are relatively okay, it's definitely Konate for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I had you guys pick one guy before we head out over here, the key guy in this game, I know who John is picking, so I'll come to you, Cersei. Who's the player that's going to be the key to kind of like unlock this and make this an easy game?
I think Cersei has him in his background.
Yeah, I'd have to go from McAllister. This guy is just...
He brought him with him.
Yeah. Hey, better him than Thiago, right? It just, he's like a combination of like Alonso, Gerrard, and Mascherano all together. Like he's just, I can't believe we got him for 35. Like there should be an investigation into that.
Man, yeah, that headline came out too. I mean, Ryan says Mac as well. I mean, dare I ask you there, John, who's the key over here?
Okay, so I'll go away from Gravenberch and probably say Salah here because, listen, we talked about it yesterday. He has lost a bit of his pace, but I think that pace was substituted with better creativity. And that, I don't want to say that him losing his pace is a good thing, but him substituting that with his creativity makes us a better team overall. So against a low block like this, we need him to create from that right wing, set up Nunez, set up Diaz, even set up himself. So I think, these 9 games are the moments where the great players come in, kind of stamp their authority. McAllister's doing it, Salah's doing it, and I expect him to continue to do so here. He's my player, a player to watch for this game.
Yeah, see, I'm going with, and I don't know if it's necessarily because he is key, but I'm going with Szoboszlai as maybe because I'm going to watch him a lot closer, if that's fair, because I want to see if we get more of the second half and almost get the Szoboszlai of the earlier part of the season back, because that would be perfect timing to get that guy back in form and clicking with his pressing and winning the ball up top. Because, if you're going to break this team down, it's going to be, winning the ball up top there and taking advantage of the numbers and creating. And not to mention, I mean, he hasn't seen a shot he hasn't liked. So, I mean, against a team that's sitting back, he will get those opportunities to break a defense down with a shot and stuff. So I really think he could be the key. But more importantly, I just want to see if he kind of continues that form going up, because we can really use that in this last, month and a half? Oh, God, I'm making myself more nervous. Okay, before we head out over here, score predictions. Cersei, let's start with you. I don't know if the lineup changed anything at all.
I went for a nervy 2-1, but I think after hearing John and everyone's comments, I'll go for a 3-0.
3-0. So the optimism is rubbing off on you. It's only making me more nervous.
Yes.
John, what do you have?
Still going with my 4-0 from yesterday. And I think Gravenberch scores.
Ooh, added on like a cherry on top to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the 4-1. As nervous as I am, I really think, come on, man. I mean, we should, right? It's almost like 4-1 says Ryan too. Let's do it. Let's get on this 4-1 bandwagon. I can go with that. An early goal. and he really wants Salah out of there. That's like the fourth time I think he put that in there. So so hopefully Klopp is watching and taking notes. But yeah, hopefully an early goal makes this game a lot easier, and it could even be more than 4 if that happens. But I'm just in for like an easy 3 points, no injuries, and be able to rotate guys in the second half, kind of an ordeal. But thanks a lot, guys, and as always, don't forget to tune in to tonight's podcast with the gang, and then right afterwards will be the fantasy nerds, Gally and Matush giving you the fantasy tips. But first, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, the technologically challenged trio will be here for the Thursday night podcast. So tune in then; they'll dissect the hell out of the game. Go enjoy the game, everybody. Up the Reds. Let's get these 3 points.
Let's get it, guys.